Hey guys, I'm determined to get this head on this Porsche 924 Turbo. I got the lifter. If you remember from the last video, I had a bad lifter. Let me show you that part. Looks like new old stock, really. I haven't mic'd it yet, but it does appear to be the correct part. So the head is sitting here, valves are in place, new seals, new springs. I've got to get the lifters installed, so I need to take the cam out. One of the things Haynes recommends is checking in play, which I did, and it's like 4/1000ths of an inch, which puts it at 1 millimeter. Max is, 0.1 millimeter. Max is 0.2 millimeter in play. So I'm good there. So I'm going to, first off, I have to figure out, I'll have to put the pulley on once I get the lifters in and find top dead center. And that requires just setting the valve cover on there because it's got a pointer on the valve cover. Haynes says to back all the valve adjustment screws out, which I've done, which would be the highest gap, if I do my math correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cam out and get those lifters in. Again, the shop did not number them, so about the best I can do is try to polish them up a little, lubricate them real well, make sure they're not binding up in the bores, and we'll just have to go from there. All right, camshaft. Bearing caps, I guess they are off. Note it's just a machine surface. There are no bearing shells. Obviously, the lubrication just comes up right onto the camshaft. Everything looks nice and clean and machined well. You can see they lubricated the valve stems. Looks like they got new wedges in there. So all that appears to be in order. So the next thing is start putting these lifters in, and then we'll put it back together. So this new tappet does appear to be the right part. Everything checks out as far as size. Now what I was looking at is if there was an orientation regarding the adjusting screw, and there is. So the hole that the adjuster goes into is orientated what would be higher, because this sits in the head like this. So if you looked at the hole there, it's up near the top of the tappet, and on this side it's lower. Okay, so you probably wouldn't want to get that in there backwards. Also, according to Haynes, those adjusters need to be on the low side of the head. So if you look from the front, it's got a slope to it. So the adjusters want to come out on this side. Okay, tappets are in. The replacement tappet was definitely a little bit tighter than the rest of them. Also, I noticed I got a little bit of burring on the top of this one. I'm sticking it on the exhaust valve on number 4. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. I wish I would have caught that. Either the cam will smooth it off, break it, or the cam will get burred up. Who knows? I'm gonna lubricate the bearing surfaces, the tops of the tappets, and stick the cam back in. Alrighty, camshaft torque down. Note that when you press it in, a couple of valves are going to protrude. So I put some wood blocks down so the whole weight of the head is not resting on two valves. Next thing is to put this front seal in, and then the pulley with the Woodruff key. And then once I get to that point, I think I'm ready to install this on the block. I've put the block in what I assume to be top dead center. Number one piston all the way up. It's hard to tell without flywheel on, you know. I guess as far as exhaust stroke and compression stroke, I don't think it really matters, because they'll be one and the same as far as the block is concerned. Now the head will be totally different because it makes less revolutions. So anyway, that's reason I think you need to get the pulley on so you can set it at top dead center. At least that's what I'm running with for now. So I've got the valve cover on just loosely, and of course the sprocket, and it's set at what a top dead center, and it looks like number one valves are close to being closed. The intake is a little bit open, but you can see exhaust, well, intake and exhaust are open on 2 and 3, and then 4 it's just slightly open, but you know, the tappets aren't adjusted. So, but the main thing is I wanted to make sure when I put this in that I didn't collide with the pistons, because from what I can see, where it would collide is right there on the edge. If that compression chamber matches up, yeah, you would collide right there on the edge of that. So long as 2 and 3 are recessed, those valves can be protruding and you're okay. So I think I'm okay to put the head on. Now, what I do need to do is make these alignment sleeves. I never found those. I think I'm just going to take some sheet metal and bend it into a tube. I ran the numbers, and with the 13 millimeter diameter, it should be, I think, 43 millimeters long. I'm going to make it 10 millimeters high, and I'll slide it on the bolt, make sure it fits the bolt well, stick it in the hole. I'll double check it 3 or 4 times, and I'm pretty sure it goes in this bolt hole here and here. There's just 2 of them, and if you look, there's a little recess there anyway. So that's what I'm running with there. And yeah, I probed around inside of here to make sure they weren't pushed up in there, and I don't think they are. I don't think so. I see something way the hell up in there, but I couldn't extract it, so I don't know. I might try to poke around in there a little bit more. Well, there you go. There's a alignment sleeve, or whatever you want to call it. I just used 0.025 inch sheet metal, cut like a 10 millimeter strip, and rolled it around the bolt and kept on trimming it until it just fit just right. You know, made sure the bolt would go through it. And there you go. And that stuff is pretty pliable, so ultimately the head's going to mash it anyway if it doesn't line up perfectly. Main thing is it's to line up the gasket. Is everything I've read said that's the most important part of this, is getting the gasket aligned, because you got those metal rings. And I think if the gasket was misaligned, you would have a potential for hot spots and burn that gasket up. So that should work quite nicely. I'm going to clean this block one more time, and I'm going to stick the head on, by God. All right, finally it's on. And in retrospect, having those little sleeves in there did help a lot. I mean, it lined right up. I did drop in a bolt on this corner and this corner. It just went down real slow. I mean, it set right down on there, right on the money. So no problems at all. Looks like, you know, we got a good seal. Well, of course, we'll find out when we fire this sucker up. Head bolts torqued down to 72 foot-pounds in the correct order. Everything should be sitting at top dead center. I'll just put the cover on loosely to keep junk out of it. And then we'll move on to the next step, which will be adding the accessories, like the oil filter assembly, the turbo, the manifolds, all that stuff, all the sensors. So yeah, this is big. This is huge. So I hope you guys learned something from this. If you're missing those little alignment sleeves, they're easy to make, and they definitely help. So until we get back into it the next time, thanks for watching.